In November of 2024, the dance department at Case Western Reserve University premiered Gary Galbraith's groundbreaking performance of Quest.
Okay, so I'm not going to give anything away because if they ever do it again, you have to come and see it.
The whole thing is mesmerizing.
How far did you guys come to see this?
Quite far
From Europe, from Brussels, yeah. When you love the dance and when you love people who do it, you decide to do a 10-hour trip to be here.
Imagine you're in a field with big trees and fireflies everywhere, and someone is whispering in your ear and they're telling you secrets. You don't even know what they're saying, but you don't care. And you're surrounded by these lighting, orbs, and they're literally coming right at you, and you're within them, but you're also outside of them at the same exact time.
You feel as if you become part of the stage of the entire setting, and that gives it this other dimension, this other, you're part of it, that's it.
Inspired by ancient Mayan mythology, Quest tells the story of twin warriors battling the dark lords of the underworld. Unlike most modern dance pieces, Quest is truly a cutting-edge fusion of dance, mythology, and technology.
Using technology in dance is really exciting for me because it gives us so many new options to consider. It gives us new ways of thinking. It gives us new avenues to explore.
Quest demonstrates the huge technological advances that have occurred since his first piece combining modern dance and mixed reality visualizations, imagined Odyssey.
My use of dance and technology is in such a way that we're amplifying what's on stage. For the first time, we had the ability to do a large-scale holographic dance project that allowed the audience to see holographic content, a full audience, holographic content on stage, and to experiment with new ideas about choreography and dance now that we had these completely new three-dimensional ideas at our disposal.
Quest represents a fundamentally new way to experience live performing arts.
It brings the audience directly into the world that the dancers are inhabiting.
It combines contemporary choreography with holographic visuals and mixed reality, LiDAR tracking of the performers, and surround sound. This is not a simple piece.
A completely new experience to dance with this technology.
Being a part of this experience was definitely life-changing because it's kind of pushing the field of dance further, and it makes us think differently of how we define dance.
Because my character is a very energetic character, a cardio-intense piece for me.
My character is pretty much the exact opposite, very flowy and smooth.
We had the opportunity to put the HoloLenses on and to see the real holograms on the stage. So whenever we dance, we really have this imagery on the stage.
We all had the same starting point with the imagery, so we all were actually seeing the same thing instead of just imagining in different ways. Instead of performing for the audience, it felt like we were more in a story and we were just part of something bigger rather than trying to communicate with people outright from performing.
It's so immersive dance experience that combines visual, audio, all the things together to create a very realistic narrative storylines in dance, which I've never seen before in the other dances.
The work required creative input from a wide range of experts. This included working with physicist Mike Martins on the LiDAR tracking system, as well as the artists and the computer programmers from the Interactive Commons to make both the holographic visuals and the background images.
Sometimes you'd have to back up, and then you realize, oh no, I'm inside of it. I don't need to back up. But it was very all-encompassing.
It was really interesting when the light would reveal a person.
Actually, I don't agree. The music was the best. Reality was perfect, but music was amazing.
The music was composed by Gabriel Jon Griswold, a graduate student at the University of Southern California. It combines classical composition techniques with modern electronic and ambient sound design.
The music was exquisite. It was like another dancer on stage. It was like a part of the braid. You had to have the visuals, you had to have the dancers, and you had to have the sound.
The visuals combined with the music to form a truly immersive environment for the dancers and the audience members. Case Western Reserve University has been at the forefront of mixed reality technology for the last decade, and these performances of Quest are some of the largest shared mixed reality experiences to ever be performed in the world. Every one of the nearly 100 audience members received a HoloLens mixed reality headset. These headsets use holographic projection to make it seem as if there are 3D trees, caves, and even a fire on stage.
You can build these systems that connect dancers to different aspects of production, that you put a lot of controls onto the body, that just by movement alone you can create and generate visuals or change sound or affect lighting. That the idea of choreography is more than just movement now, it's movement in combination with so much more. So it almost feels like it's taking the dancer, that that beautiful canvas by which on which you create, but it's more than just movement. The fact that this movement now changes lighting, this movement now changes the way where sound comes from. When this movement happens, or this dancer moves over in this location, the holographic content changes or projection changes. As a result of that, it's a huge palette, and it makes you think much bigger. It gives you a lot more opportunities to create things that you hadn't thought of before as a result. And that's one of the beauties, I think, of this integration. It's given us so many more opportunities.
Galbraith's innovative vision redefines the boundaries of performance, immersing the audience in a world where technology and myth merge seamlessly.
I would hope that the audience walks away from this experience kind of reimagining what dance can be versus what it has been. It's more than just a bunch of people moving on stage with lights.
While you can no longer have the immersive experience of seeing Quest live in full 3D, we hope that this video will inspire you to think about new ways to experience the performing arts enhanced by technology. Here's Quest in its entirety.